Hello students, today's lesson we will be working on order of operations, in other words Bidmas, and our learning objective is to be able to perform calculations using Bidmas. Now, our real life links and keywords are along the left side, and the equipment for today's lesson is a pen, paper and a ruler for your margins. Now, starting off the lesson, just to get us into the swing of things, I want you to have a look at the cards which are given here. So it starts with Danny started with 5 stickers, and I want you to read the cards and imagine and think what's going on as we're going along. First of all, as we said, Danny started with 5 stickers. So Danny was given 8 more stickers. Danny lost 20 stickers, Danny won 10 stickers in a raffle. In the end, Danny was left with. So obviously from the information that we've been given, we can create calculations to figure out how many stickers Danny was left with. Now, if Danny was given 8 more stickers, we can call that plus 8, okay? Now, if he lost 20 stickers, we can say that's subtract 20. He won 10 stickers in a raffle, that would add on 10. And our final answer should have been, now, if you do the calculation here, it's 5 plus 8, take away 20, plus 10, and that should have given us 3. So in the end, Danny was left with 3 stickers. Now that you've seen an example, I want you to have a look at this and follow it in order from left to right. And I want you to decide how many sweets, or figure out how many sweets Laura was left with at the end. So pause the video now and have a go, and we'll come back together with the answer. Okay, so we should have done that by now. Now, if Laura started with 40 sweets, she was given 15 more sweets, so that's adding 15. Laura gave 10 sweets to her sister. The keyword here is gave, so that would make it a subtract. Laura ate 12 sweets, again, that's subtract. Laura lost 9 sweets, again subtract. Laura threw away 6 sweets, and finally Laura won 5 sweets in a raffle, which is adding. So how many sweets was Laura left with at the end? The answer that we should have got was 23 sweets. Well done for those of you who got that right. But what we're trying to see here is how you have to follow an order in order to get your answer, a specific order. Now, with Bidmas, we have this order set out so that the first thing we would always be dealing with is brackets. Then it would be indices. Then we can have division and multiplication, which can be done in either order. And finally, addition and subtraction come last. But this should be completed from left to right. And I'll give you an example of what I mean. Now, if you have a look here and look at a question like 3 plus 7, take away 5 plus 8. Now, if you look at Bidmas, the addition comes before subtraction because the A comes before the S. However, it's telling us that we don't just do the pluses, all the pluses first and then the subtraction. We just go through it as if we're reading a sentence or a book. So we go from left to right. So the first thing we do is 3 plus 7, which is 10. Then we're doing 10 subtract 5, which is 5. And then we're doing 5 plus 8, which is 13. So our final answer would have been 13. Okay, so remember, when there's only addition and subtraction symbols in the question, you're just going from left to right as usual. Now, if I give you some examples here, so this is the most basic example of Bidmas you'd come across, where there's a multiplication, addition, could be a division and an addition or subtraction and so on. It's when there's 2 of the basic symbols there. Now, the first thing we're going to be dealing with is the multiplication. So we need to do 3 times 4, which is 12. So it's the same as doing 2 plus 12. And our answer would have been 14. Now, if you have a look here, again, we've got a subtraction and a multiplication. What comes first in Bidmas is the multiplication. So we're going to do 2 times 6, which is 12. Now, 7, take away the 12, that gives us minus 5. Another example here, we've got an addition, a multiplication, and a division. Now, we're definitely going to do the multiplication or the division first. The addition is definitely coming last. But which one do we do? It doesn't really matter. We're going to do 4 divided by 2, which is 2. So now we got 3 plus 5 times 2. So we've gone down from 3 symbols to 2. Now between add and multiply, which one do we focus on? We're focusing on the multiply. So we're going to do 5 times 2, which is 10. So it's going to just be 3 plus 10. And that gives us 13. Now, another example here. If you have a look, we've got a multiplication, a subtraction, and an add, which is in some brackets. Now, from all of those, the brackets would come first, okay? Because B brackets is the first thing. So we're dealing with what's inside the bracket. So 4 plus 2 is 6. So it's the same as saying 2 times 3 take away 6. Now we've got a multiplication and a subtraction in the question. Which one do we deal with? First, we're dealing with the multiplication. So we're going to do 2 times 3, which is 6. So it's going to be 6 take away 6, which is 0. And finally, the last one, we've got what have we got? We've got a multiplication. We've got that little 2 in the corner is an indice. We've got a subtraction. We've got addition, which is in the bracket. So what comes first from all of those? Again, it's the bracket. Okay, so whenever you see brackets in a question, that should always be the first thing you deal with. Now, we've got 7 plus 2, which is 9. So if we take everything else out, we're left with 4 times 3 squared, take away 9. Now, from the multiplication, the indice, and the subtraction, what would come next? Yes, it's the indice. So we're going to open up the indice. 3 squared is the same as 9. So we can say it's 4 times 9, take away 9. Now we're down to 2 symbols. We have a multiplication and a subtraction. Which one of those comes first? It's the multiplication. So we're going to do the 4 times 9, which gives us 36. And the subtract 9 stays there as usual. Now we're doing 36 take away 9, which is 27. Okay. Now that I've shown you some from most basic examples to some more difficult, I want you guys to try and identify which ones are true or false. So have a look at this question. 5 times 7 plus 4, is the answer 39? I want you to have a quick think about it. Pause the video if you need to now. And let's see if it's true or false. Okay, we should have decided by now. So 5 times 7 plus 9 plus 4, is that 39? It's true. We do the multiplication first. 5 times 7 is 35. Then we adding the 4. That gives us 30. Now let's have a look at another one here. 3 plus 2 times 6. Is the answer 30 true or false? Pause the video now, figure it out, and we'll come back together with the answer. Okay, the answer is false. 3 plus 2 times 6. Okay, so we're doing the 2 times 6 first, which is 12. Then we're adding the 3, which is 15. And the answer should have been 15. What the question has done here is it's done the 3 plus 2 first, which is 5, and then multiplied that by 6, which gives us 30. So it's very important you do it the correct way. Now, next example, I want you guys to think, is this true or false? Pause the video now and have a go. Okay, what we should have done first of all is dealt with the indices, then the multiplication, and then the addition. So the answer, is it true or false? It's false. Now, if we look at the question, the indice first of all would give us 4. So 2 squared is 4, and then it's 4 plus 3 times 5. We're doing the multiplication next. 3 times 5 is 15. 4 plus 15 is 19. We should have had a final answer of 19, which is why this is false. Okay, now, so for the main task, what I want you guys to do is, if you're in set 1, you're going to try all of red, all of green. If you're in set 2, ideally, you should be attempting all of red, all of green as well. And if you're in set 3, you should be doing at least 4 of each. Now, make sure you write the question out, and obviously then your answer. Take a picture of that, upload it to ClassChart, and that will be your main task complete. Okay, now for the second part of your main task, I want you guys to identify the mistakes. Okay, you need to identify the mistakes that have been made when answering these Bidmas questions. Now, if you're in set 1, you need to attempt both questions. If you're in set 2 or 3, you cannot try either one of those two. Now, the number at the bottom, so for the left box is 2, the number on the bottom of the right box is 18. Those are given as the final answers. Now, somewhere along the calculations, there's been a mistake, at least one mistake. Now, your job is to obviously identify the mistakes and then obviously write out the correct calculation. Now, make sure you take a picture so you need to write the whole question out for each one and circle where the mistake is, and then below that you're going to re-correct the whole question. Okay, you're going to answer the question yourself. Take a picture of that and include that in your ClassCharts upload. Good luck. That's all for today's lesson, and see you in the next video.